Hi, I'm Kathleen.
And I'm Sean.
And you're listening to the Dead Baby Bear podcast.
Dead Baby Bear. Long story.
Was French or English first, though? Because one of the languages stole from the other, for sure. Because, like, that is just like, oh, well, we'll just put an E on the end of it and call it French.
How do I not know the answer to that? How do I not know
Should
what
we ask
it has
Siri?
to be? It has to be French, right?
Which language came first, English or French? Let's see.
I can translate from English,
You
but only
stupid
when it's been said as
fucking
the Siri
bitch.
language.
Siri.
God, I hate her.
We hate you, Siri.
My dad
That's
really.
not nice.
Shut up. My dad fucking gets in the he gets in bigger fights with Siri than he ever did with my mom. And he used to fucking throw shit at my
And
mom.
they're not even fucking each other.
No.
Maybe technically we're all fucking our phones because we all watch porn on our phones.
It makes me feel bad because, like, there's a limit to how much you can care about a senior. Even if they raised you, there's like every person who's not a senior has a senior limit.
Yeah.
As to what they can stomach from a senior.
I could spend all day with my grandma. I love my grandma.
Nah, come on.
Yes, my grandma's
Really?
the sweetest lady in the world.
You're such a nice person, because like I'm around my dad and he's like, and I do the things that I have to do for him. Like, okay, we got to take you to the doctor. We got to get your blood work. We got to get your pills.
Yeah.
Got to get you some bananas, and then I'm taking you home. And then
I have that feeling towards other seniors. Just my grandma is the cool one.
Yeah, well, this is my dad,
Yeah.
so technically I should be somewhat closer to him. I should be, but then we'll have little things where I get in the door and I'm like, okay, got your groceries? Like, I got to get out of here. And he's like, Siri isn't reading my text messages. And I'm like, all right, well,
He just wants you to hang out with him.
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
See, that's the catch-22.
Okay.
As long as you're doing stuff that he needs done, he's quite happy to have you there.
Yeah.
But as soon as everything is done,
Yeah.
he's like, ugh.
I'm gonna have a nap now.
What time is it?
My mom used to do that all the time.
What time is it anyway?
She would but she wouldn't be polite about. My mom would be like, "Well, I'm gonna have a nap now," and she'd just go. And we're like, "Okay, bye, mom. We'll be leaving now."
That is such an awesome goodbye.
Bye.
You don't have to walk anybody to the door. You don't
I'm
have to
tired.
like, should I walk you to your car? You don't have to like, that is such an awesome goodbye.
That is
Why haven't I ever thought of that?
What would you call that kind of goodbye? Like, because like an Irish goodbye is that when you're at the bar and you just leave without saying anything.
Okay, good night, bye. Like, good. It's a good night, goodbye.
Good night, goodbye.
Good night and goodbye.
Good night, goodbye.
Good night and goodbye. Don't stay.
But I bet you seniors
You
hate
can
us
stay,
as much
but I'll be
as
doing this. That's the ultimate fuck you to any guest.
just fall asleep.
No. You don't have to go. Stick around. Hey, I mean, mikasa sukasa, brother, but bye.
Mikasa, sukasa, brother.
Hey, you stick around all you like, but fucking see you later. I am out of here. That's the thing about being a sleep apnea machine is that you really have to be, you can't fall asleep anywhere. You can't sort of, like, there's times when I'm like, you're like, fuck, I just want to really, everybody's hanging out at Christmas time.
Yeah.
And like any other person at that party could just pass
Goes
out
off.
for 15 minutes and nobody'd know.
The log machine in the corner.
Yeah, but old can't breathe. If you're out for a second, everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you nod off, everybody's like, Sean's asleep.
Do you not hear yourself snoring?
Of course not.
Because like even like fucking last night, Adam kept snoring and I hit him once and he's like, I'm fully awake and I'm not snoring. I'm like, then I'm hallucinating snoring because I'm fully awake as well and I shouldn't be.
Sounds like I keep hearing the things I hate the most.
Oh my
for no
God.
reason.
Yes.
No, you definitely can't hear it. The only time that you're aware of it is sometimes you'll wake up like this. So yeah, you'll wake up going, what? Well, I was probably snoring there because I woke up to the tail end of one.
You can never fall asleep on a plane or you're that guy.
Exactly. Yeah. No, the only time it ever happened was coming back on a flight from Toronto. I think I'd been drinking all night. So normally I didn't sleep on the plane, but I was way younger and I was just hammered. And then I got on the plane and just passed out. Like alcohol passed out.
Yeah.
And I woke up to somebody like tapping me when we were in Edmonton.
Oh,
So
and
like they were like, hey, and I was like, what? And then I get up and everybody's off the plane.
wow.
Yeah.
I've never slept
So
that
that would have
long.
been like 4.5 hours of pure like alcohol passed out. Just
I kind of passed out when I went to London, Ontario. There used to be a strip club called the Beef Baron.
oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and they used to put us in the hotel behind the Beef Baron,
Yes.
so you could watch the hooker, or not the hookers. Pardon me, they're not hookers; they're strippers.
No, they're actually, what are they called?
Strong,
again?
beautiful women.
No. That's not what they are yet.
Yet,
They're one step from that. Now they are a sex worker.
is that what you have to call them now?
Yes, or a victim of
But I wouldn't.
sex
If I
trafficking.
was a stripper,
Sex trafficking victim.
if I was a stripper, I wouldn't consider myself a sex worker. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be totally. We're gonna get a lot of emails from.
I wonder
people.
what are you as a stripper? Are you still a stripper, or have we created another word that's less offensive? A dancer.
An exotic
An
dancer.
exotic dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been around forever, though. That's like nothing new.
No, I know, but it's still
You don't see-
it doesn't quite fit. Does
You don't see strippers getting too angry. If I was a stripper, I'd be thrilled because they make good money. They do. If they're good at their job, they make good money.
But I always thought equating it with dancing was a little unfair to dancers.
I don't think so. Some of those women are athletes. When's the last time?
Some of those
Yeah,
women,
some
yeah.
of them. But like I've seen dancers that weren't very good that shouldn't have been called dancers.
Yeah, but they don't get to dance forever. You know, like if you're like, I'm a dancer, as soon as you're 42 and you go, ooh, like you fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
You can't dance anymore. Exotic dancing is really about, you got to get naked, right? I mean, if you
That's what's exotic about it.
I know I've seen strippers that had athletic ability, but if they were wearing a chemise and pants their entire performance, you'd be like, what the fuck's that bitch doing?
Yeah, what's
You know what I
chemise?
mean? Like a shirt. If they were fully dressed
Oh,
and dancing the way a stripper does,
I was like, what the fuck is a chemise?
8 minutes into the show, you'd be like, she needs to stop doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing up there. She's wearing a turtleneck and she's writhing on a pole.
Writhing on a pole in an artistic way. We're gonna get
course.
angry stripper. I guess got a complaint from a burlesque dancer at one of the shows because I have stripper jokes
Yeah.
and
And they're uplifting.
and they got mad. They're very uplifting, but I call them athletes. But they were offended because I was saying it on a show that had burlesque. But to me, like burlesque is not stripping; it's a different kind of art form.
Yeah.
To me, like all the girls that I know that do burlesque, I don't consider them strippers. I consider them burlesque dancers.
No, they're more like, hey, what's the thing you do when you're like, don't want to take it all off?
Yeah.
I don't want to take all of it off.
Yeah,
I
but
love dancing, but I don't want to get all of it off.
yeah, I just want to get my
Yeah.
titties out.
I want to have something I can bring my dad to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do
I
something
wonder
can
if
bring
burlesque performers' parents ever want to go watch them.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a
would
good
think so.
question.
Moms for sure.
Moms would
would be like, you are the best.
I don't know if my mom would have wanted to come and see me half naked.
You don't think so?
No.
No, well, because you would have been in the comedy portion of burlesque,
but
right? Like you would have been sexy and flirty, but you would have been in a bee costume.
yeah, in a
and-
bee costume.
Right.
There's a girl in Vancouver named April O'Peel that is the funniest, best burlesque dancer in the world. She does the best. She did this one of my shows, and she did that a dance to Bad Blood by Taylor Swift, and she was a vampire. And then at the end, she ripped out a like red sequin covered tampon. Or they were tassels. I can't remember. It's something to do with like a sequin.
But it actually did it actually come out of her vagina?
No, God, no.
Okay.
But it was so funny. She is so funny. She's my favorite burlesque dancer in the world. I love her. I think she's hilarious.
I emceed a burlesque show one time.
Yeah.
It could not have gone worse.
No?
It could. I mean, I am the least.
Yeah, you're not the person I would suggest.
Are you like? Well, they thought they were going to get some guy that was like, hubba hubba. Whoa, April Wine, everybody.
Why couldn't you
Wasn't
have been
she
that way?
unbelievable?
Why couldn't you have been that way?
This
then?
is woo smoke show. Like, but I was just like, keep it going for. And I'd say that, but I wouldn't like ham it up like, oh, they were unbelievable. Like, I was just like, keep it going, because I was so like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's like a woman right
Why
next
were
to
you
me being.
uncomfortable?
There's a woman next to me being like
'Cause there were
super
titties around
sexual
you?
and sensual, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You know you're allowed to feel like feelings, Sean.
Not really. You're not.
Like,
You're not
really
supposed to.
uncomfortable by like a
Very,
girl
yeah.
sexy dancing with her. Hips
Yeah,
out.
because you never know when she's going to be like writhing on you, and then the crowd's going to be like, ha 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 ha! This is hilarious.
I never see them writhe on men.
As an MC, right? They might start doing a little, lift their leg and pee on you a little bit, mark their MC territory.
Oh my god, that reminds me. I'm going to change topics again, but
Okay.
there's a new show on A&E called Top Dog America.
Oh my fucking god!
It's basically American Ninja Warrior, but for dogs.
What?
Like they run these like paths and stuff, and then they have to. They're
Do
mostly
they fall
police
into water.
dogs.
Like, do they? Fall
They
off
jump
of
into
it?
water and but they don't have them hanging over water and stuff.
That's what I thought. Is there was like
No.
they're over water on these things that are moving, and they have to like, and then whoa, that dog fell into water. He's dead.
We lost another dog on. He's not America's top
Are
dog.
they? Is it Japanese? Is it?
No, it's like it's America's top dog. It's like
Fuck.
it's funny. Like it's weird, but it's fun. It's
Do they stick the breeds together? Like, is it Shih
Most
Tzu
of them
versus
are-
Shih Tzu?
No, it's mostly police dogs. So most of them are German Shepherds. There was one in this episode that we saw that was a border collie, so it wasn't an official police dog. It was just the guy's like, "We're here to come and show you that amateur dogs can do this too." It's so funny.
Amateur dog.
And then there was another dog that had a trainer, and he was in the crowd. I have a video of it.
Every dog's an amateur. Like, none of them cash checks. They
No,
don't
there
have
are
rent.
dogs with jobs.
But they
Do
they don't
those
get,
dogs get paid? That's what I want to know.
If you don't get the money, you're not an employee of it. You're just a dog.
Do those dogs
Your
get
owner
paid?
gets the money for sure.
But somebody gets paid.
Yeah,
Not
but
the
not
dogs.
you. The fucking dog's a slave.
The dog is a slave. Okay, so there was this dude. Okay, so this was the dog's trainer, and they were just interviewing him on the side of the thing. Fuck, I gotta rewind this. Okay. Is it working? Oh, fuck, this is terrible.
Come on,
radio,
Kathleen.
I gotta do this. Anyway, this guy had a piece of broccoli in his hand, and then she goes, "What's that broccoli for?" And he's like, "I just like to eat it." And that's literally. No, look, watch again.
He was just eating a flower of broccoli.
Yeah, yeah.
I just like
Just
to
watch.
eat it.
He just was. So she goes, "What's that broccoli in your hand?" I wish I could get my sound to work. And then he just starts gnawing away.
And then it goes back to the sportscasters that are like, okay.
And then they go back to it. Fuck, I really need my sound to work.
There was no dressing on it either. It wasn't. It hadn't been boiled. It was just raw.
It was raw. It was a raw. Not even a floret either. It was like a whole. We'll
Yep.
play it to the video.
And
I'll post it to the Instagram. That's what I'll do. I'll post it on our Instagram.
Like, somebody had to walk up to him and go, "Hey, we're going to do a quick hit with you in about 30 seconds."
No, but he was
and he
like-
was like, "Okay." And he didn't put his broccoli down.
He
kept his broccoli in his hand, knowing an interview was about to happen.
Yeah.
And then he took a bite mid-interview.
Why won't my sound work?
And they like that's the thing. People always think
That's
like
why.
cat owners are crazy. Like, yeah, here's a dog owner for you.
Yeah.
Just eating raw broccoli.
Just eat raw bro. Okay, come on, rewind. I found why it sounds not working because I have it on mute.
Oh, that's what I thought was happening.
That's what happens. Okay, wait. Here's the sound with it.
Broccoli in your hand.
Oh, I eat that all day long.
Oh, that's your snack.
That's my snack.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's go Team Dax, right?
Yes, good.
All right, Kirk, back to you.
This is so fucking weird.
What the f-
Then he just starts
He
gnawing.
takes 3 giant mouthfuls.
And then they went back to him.
He sent it to Jamie Little to find out whether or not his trainer still has their broccoli with him.
Well, yes, he does. That's all
Well,
he
yes,
needs.
he does.
It's our third one, so I guess you keep with it. It's been a little good luck charm, perhaps.
Could be. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
He's not even hamming it up.
No.
Like most people who are eating raw broccoli would be like, yeah, like, look at me, I'm crazy broccoli guy. I love my dog. But he's just like, yeah, I'm hoping my dog does well in this contest. takes a giant bite.
I mean, broccoli, that is like a very convenient snack. It's like a healthy cotton candy.
Well, the reason it's hilarious is because we all know broccoli is disgusting.
Well, yeah.
Broccoli by itself
Especially
with
raw
no
broccoli.
dress. Oh, fuck. It's disgusting. It's a tree.
It is a tree.
Why would you eat trees?
There's a reason why kids gag every time you put it in their mouths. Like, it's like, why have we trained ourselves to eat this horrifying vegetable?
I don't know.
The
It
only
must
way
be
most
that good
people
for
eat
you.
it is with covered in butter or covered in cheese.
Can you
I don't-
imagine if like you lived 80 years eating as well as you could and then you found out near the end of it that broccoli was bad for you? Like your whole fucking life was a lie. You ate all these broccolis thinking like, well, I'm doing it for the...
I'm going to live forever.
And then they were like, actually worse than sugar. You're like, what the fuck? Oh, he's got broccoli cancer. We didn't know about it till 2043. That was a bit of a bitch.
You got cancer of the broccoli.
Cancer, yep, that's caused by broccoli only. You can see these spots in his lungs. That's
We
broccoli.
call them florets.
We call them floret
We call them
tumors.
cancer tumor. I mean, floret tumors are floret.
Cancer of the floret. You're like, cocksucker. I quit smoking. I started eating
Oh
salads
my
every
God.
day, and then I go down from broccoli.
But if you lived long, then that wouldn't have proved, you would have proved your point. But like, did you mean like when they die and they go wherever we go and they find out because they died early
they're
that
just
was
like,
broccoli?
yeah, they die young from broccoli overeating.
Oh,
you know?
okay, yeah.
Because I mean, even 80 is young now for some people.
It has a lot of iron in it.
Maybe that could kill you.
Well, isn't there symptoms? Isn't there something where if you have too much iron in your system?
I think iron deficiency is the big one.
I have
Like you're
iron
not eating-
deficiency.
Oh, you have iron deficiency.
Yes, I do. I take iron
Oh.
pills.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're supplementing? Why can't you just live your normal, natural life, Kathleen?
I am supplementing.
And when Jesus wants it to be over, let it be over.
I am
Don't-
supplementing, and I have been looking into getting a boob job.
You're-
I want to
wow,
be
you're
completely
really circumventing the will of Christ.
Yeah, fuck the will of Christ. I look like I've had babies just because I've gained weight and lost weight and gained weight and lost weight. So I look like I have had children. My boobs do, and it pisses me off. I want
Because
new
I
boobs.
didn't have children.
Exactly. That's what you have. Like that's part of the thing is you get kids.
A
I don't know
boob
if
job.
that's
I think a
Yeah.
boob job is not a bad. Like if you didn't have kids and you're like, I,
really just
deserve
want
these.
I want to be able to go braless once in a fucking while. Like I hate how you always have to wear a bra. If you don't, Sean's like, yes, I know.
Yeah, no kidding. You need one bad. No,
I don't know.
I'm just joking.
But it's I do want to get one eventually, but they're expensive. They're like $5,000.
Per tit?
I don't know. I think it's for both.
Oh,
I think
is
it's
it?
a 2-for-1.
They do one. They wake you up and like, hey, it's another 2,500.
Do you want us
for...
to finish or?
No, I'll just take the one tit. I really just wanted one great tit. To be honest with you,
one day that's going to be in fashion. To
For
have
sure.
one bigger titty,
Fashion.
like
just one awesome tit.
yeah, and then one
that's-
nasty dangly dangly.
Yeah. Which one do you want me to suck? Like, the one I can feel down there.
Down there.
This one looks good, but I can't feel a fucking thing on that nipple. Never have been.
Oh my
You mind
God.
sucking on old Draggy? That's the only one I get anything out of, really. That's pretty gross.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's gross, but it's funny.
But you're right. One that is gonna happen one day.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be like, ooh, she's got that new boob job.
Yeah.
Where she's like, yeah, ladies, look at my great tit, but also guys, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm a feminist.
I didn't do this
still.
for you.
I did this for me.
You creep.
I did.
Yeah, one tit says you did it for you. Two tits, you did it for guys. You did it to attract a better man.
One tit, you did it for you.
Exactly.
I'm not a vain person.
I
I
just
did this
got
to
that
prove
one-
a point. Okay, I
I did this to prove a point.
1 point, but at 1 point only.
Yes, I wanted to stitch together my own bras for life. Two different cups.
Well, look at that boobed alien in that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. She got 3 titties.
That's right. She did
Yeah.
have 3 titties. And
It's-
it looked weird, didn't
That
it?
stuff's gonna happen. I mean, I don't know. I think most guys are like 3 titties.
No, because we've seen too many dogs. You know what I mean? Like we've seen too many animals with multiple tits that it's disgusting.
I don't feel feel like boobs are that
anything more than
exciting
two.
anymore.
Anything more than two, and you're like, ooh, that's just for babies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't even think that boobs are that shocking to see anymore. Like, I remember when you were a kid and you'd see them in a movie, be like, holy shit, there's tits in this. But, like, now it's just like, I mean, it's basically, you could just go on the internet and see a million boobs anytime you want. Like, they're everywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean much.
It's not that exciting anymore.
No, it's not as titillating. That's dumb.
Maybe the new thing is going to be not strippers, closers.
Ooh,
so the thing is
chicks
to
that put them back
on.
Put your clothes on. Put your clothes on. That's kind of hot. She starts out completely
Is that
naked,
our next-
like an alt stripper.
Is that our next top one hit? Put your clothes on?
Put your clothes on.
Following Pop That
Just
Trunk.
turn it up.
Just turn it up.
Good night. Goodbye. Boom. Hey, make yourself at home. Bye. I'm gone for hours. No.
Yeah, I think that could be like the newest thing.
How many hours of sleep do you get a night?
I could tell you. I have it on my Fitbit. Usually like
No,
6.
you have it on your Fitbit?
Yeah, like if you wear your watch to sleep, it'll track your sleep. But my Fitbit was dead for a couple of days because I couldn't find the will to live. No, I couldn't find the
will
charger
to
for the charger for the.
Actually, I lost the charger, and then it reminded me how I shouldn't be alive.
Oh, I should die.
Can't find my charger. Well, I guess
Oh my God.
think about how many people have killed themselves just on little tiny things like that.
I guarantee you that because I mean, if you've been depressed, you know for a fact that you've thought you're like, I'm going to kill myself because of this, and then you're like, when you're thinking clear, you're like, holy shit, would that have been stupid?
I know, but I'm thinking
sure
like
people have done
just
it
the
for
thing that's
stupid
their
things.
breaking point. Like
Yeah.
they're super depressed, they hate everything, they
Yeah.
hate life, and then there's just one little thing that just puts them over the edge, and it could be something as simple as like it's fucking Doritos, fucking Doritos all over the floor.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
yeah.
This is it. I'm doing it.
Yeah,
It's over.
I guarantee you, people have slept.
I mean, people
have done
that like you're not suicide. You can't afford to die.
No, I can't afford to die.
You're not allowed to kill yourself.
Well, my family can't afford for me to die. I mean, I'll be fine.
The bank made you sign something that said you promised you wouldn't kill yourself.
Yeah. Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
You kind of.
We're the bank. We need our money.
Come on, Kathleen.
This is such a dark episode.
We're never gonna get that $3,000
I'm not
back.
thinking about killing myself. If anybody's
No.
like worried, it's all for jokes.
No, why would anybody be worried? Now they're worried. It was a joke until you brought it up like a
No, but I
possibility.
I don't know, when people talk about it, you're always like, this person, they were, and then you always hear about it, like, oh, they talked about it and they talked about it and nobody said anything. I'm not doing it. Now I'm worried that people are going to go crazy.
No. Well, we could get one tweet out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe one tweet
One
about
good
mental
tweet.
health. Bell Media. Bell Media's done a hell of a job.
Thank you, Bell Media, for.
Mental health is a disease too.
I don't
Thanks.
like that Bell Talks day.
I always
it's so
think
stupid.
it's like what we already know. Like
Yeah.
we know, we get it now. It's like drinking and driving. Like mental health. Hey
Yeah.
guys, mental health is important. And it's like, yeah, like it's like when you see a no smoking thing on a plane,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I think we fucking got it
We
now.
don't need this thing anymore. Yeah, why do they still have those on planes?
And
Even new planes.
Yeah, and I feel
get it.
mental health is the same way. Like
Yeah.
we know now. We
Yeah.
know how like important and devastating like depression, anxiety,
Yeah.
we know that those are terrible things and they're real.
And we know we can talk about it too.
Yeah. Like
'Cause
that's why
that
social
was the
media
whole
is
thing
there.
about it. It's like the stigma. Don't talk about it. But yeah.
Everybody can talk about it now.
Yeah,
like you
everybody
you
does.
could have a super specific form of anxiety where you're like, every time I see a cat, I want to slit my wrists. And then you could go online and Google, why do I want to slit my wrists every time I see a cat?
And then a
and
support
find
group.
a fucking message board
Yeah.
with 80 people that are like, me too.
Yeah.
I always want to slit my wrists when I see a cat.
What is that called? Catophilia?
Catophilia. Actually, here's something really sad. Did I tell you about that?
Here's something really sad.
The hockey. We had a hockey net in our basement.
Yeah.
And our cat had kittens while we were on vacation, and
Oh
we
my
came
God.
home, and all the kittens were like hanging from the net.
Dead?
Dead. Yeah. No, they were just playing.
Dangling? What?
Yeah.
Because she had them on the.
They were lynched or something. I don't know if it was a
Are you
racist.
being real?
No, I'm being serious.
How many dead kittens?
5?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
When did this happen?
When I think I was 7.
Oh, I thought this was recent.
No, I think I was like 7 years old.
Did that scar you for life?
I just remember being like, what the fuck's up over there? Like,
You found them?
well, I don't know if I found them, but like, that we were all kind of in there.
Oh
And then
my
I was like, shit.
God.
So my sister never played hockey again. That's how that ended up.
That's how most women get out of hockey. They find too many dead
You
kittens.
see some kittens hanging from
in
a
a
hockey
hockey
net, and they're
net.
like, oh my
Oh
God.
my God. That's so sad.
Yeah, I thought I'd bring it down a little because we were too high on life.
We were high on life for a
We
second.
went from suicide, and now we're talking about dead
Dead
kittens.
animals. Kittens. Oh my God, that's horrifying. That's like, oh, that reminds me when I was a kid and we used to, at the farm, we would like run and find the kittens when we knew there were kittens because my uncle would find them and he would kill them.
What?
Because it's a farm and it gets
He would find
overrun.
them and kill them?
Yeah, it was awful.
So you guys had to raise the kittens until they were like a
Well, we
year
would
old
find
and then-
them and hide them and not tell him where they were.
Right.
But like I'm sure people that live on a farm are like, yeah, that's normal. And then people that never live, oh my God, call the SPCA. But it's like cats can multiply so fast. Like it's crazy.
Cats can,
They
fuck.
can. They fuck a lot.
Don't
What else
think-
are they gonna do? Sleep and fuck. That's the dream. and
Sleep
and
and
they're doing
fuck.
it. Sleeping and fucking.
I s-
Sometimes sleep fucking.
Have you seen Don't Fuck with Cats? It's
Yes,
a
I
documentary.
have.
Oh my God, is that insane?
The first one is 3 episodes. The first episode is very difficult to watch. I was like, if they show what he did to those cats, I'm going to not
Right.
be okay.
And then they were very kind of like, they would show you
They would
some,
play
but
sounds instead.
right. But it was like, holy shit. Like this fucking guy put kittens in bags and then sucked the
Sucked
air
the
out of
air-
them.
yeah.
And filmed it.
Yeah.
And then put it on the internet.
Yeah.
And like was just like, hey, come and find me, bitch.
Yeah.
Like it was insane.
If you haven't seen this documentary, don't listen to this next little bit because I'm going to spoil it all for you. Because the thing that drives me the most crazy is his fucking mother, and how
No.
she's at the end that she's like, he had this guy who was telling him to do this. She thinks this guy still exists,
I know.
and she's like,
Yeah.
he's innocent of all of this. He was
Manny. Manny did it.
Manny did it. Like Manny is such a made up name, first of all.
Well, and then they explain where it's from, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, her interview is insane because she's like, "I'll never get rid of this. This is my necklace from my son that I love.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a little thing on it from Basic Instinct, which
Yeah.
is his favorite movie.
As soon
Like,
as,
if your son's favorite movie is Basic Instinct,
as soon as I saw that,
he's a psychopath.
as soon as I saw that, I knew Basic Instinct was at the end somehow.
Yeah.
And that's basically like what he did because he killed someone with an ice pick. As soon as I saw that keychain and ice pick, I'm like, oh, this guy's obsessed with Basic Instinct. And thinks
Yeah.
he's Sharon Stone.
I mean, it was a little misleading in the way that they filmed it and making it seem like his mom had actual information.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
then she just says,
And then the
like,
Andrew's
it
like,
was
oh no,
Manny.
she's crazy. She's nuts.
Yeah, but I mean, she's like most moms. Like you cannot once you've invested enough time in shaping a person.
Yeah.
Like she did it horribly. Obviously, she was obviously a terrible parent.
Yeah.
But she once you've spent that much time raising a child and being around a child.
Yeah.
You can't even imagine them doing that. You know,
Yeah.
like you can't. So when they say like I didn't do it, you're like I know you didn't.
Well,
You
yeah,
know?
you kind of had to. I don't know. Like this part of the reason I don't want to be a mom because moms create serial killers. I don't want to be one of those women that creates a little serial killer. Moms that love you too much and moms that don't love you enough. And I don't know which
Yeah.
one I would be.
Are you a fridge mom or a microwave mom? I think you're a microwave mom. Just a baby spinning and exploding. No, I don't know what you'd be. I think you'd be. Remember? Do you remember? I mean, the medical profession used to be so insane to women that they
Yeah.
would tell women that, like, oh, the reason your son has autism is because of a fridge mom syndrome, where the child didn't have enough, was neglected in its first year, and so now it has autism.
And they'll tell that to mothers.
That's what they would tell mothers, like 20, 30 years
What?
ago, if somebody was diagnosed with autism. That's
now
what they
Jenny
would tell.
McCarthy just tells them they get it from vaccination.
Yes. That's smart. Yeah. It's got to be
that's
weird being
crazy.
Jenny McCarthy because you think you're right.
Yeah.
You're convinced that you're right.
Maybe she doesn't
And
anymore.
you've actually hurt people. Right?
You've created you've brought a bad thing forward. You made it,
Yeah.
you've normalized a bad thing.
Yeah, you
That's
brought
the
press
thing.
to it. You brought some
Yeah.
attention to it. You put a little weight behind it.
There's always been anti-vaxxers, but nobody's ever
Yeah.
been like big enough to be like, yeah. This is actually what happens.
And
then-
even now that it's debunked, like when I go online, there are still a huge number of anti-vax people.
yeah,
Like even now that, they used to hide behind that one study, And then that study was debunked, and then the scientist was discredited, and so now there's no scientific basis for that, for their position at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no information to back that up. But they still keep saying like, yeah, it's that's what happened.
Yeah.
It's the mercury in it.
I saw one post on like one of those like site, like I think it was on Reddit or something, and it was pretty funny because it was like this woman like, I do not believe in vaccinations, but we should just start introducing the virus slowly into our bodies over time. And then someone's like vaccinating them? That's vaccinations, you idiot. Like,
yeah, but there's a lot of extra stuff in it the government wants to put in your body so that you're a drone, man.
We should put it in the oils that we rub on our faces.
I just don't quite
essential oils.
Like, I think when I think of conspiracy theorists, I think like, what happened? Like something happened to them. Yeah,
when they don't believe something.
Well, like something is damaged.
Yeah.
Where you feel like, because it really is like a superiority complex. As soon as you buy into these conspiracies, you automatically have this arrogance that comes with it.
Well, it's probably people that don't like to be told they're wrong.
They're basically sort of like social vegans.
Yeah.
Like social justice vegans, where they're like, there's no conspiracy theorist that I know that is like, that doesn't basically say you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like you haven't had your eyes opened yet because you're fucking willfully blind to the truth. Like no conspiracy theorist ever says like, I have my opinions and I respect yours also.
Never.
Of course not.
Yeah, never.
It always comes from a place of like, I am in this select group.
Yeah.
I am in the top 5% intellectually, and that's why I believe this stuff. Like you automatically get to put yourself on an intellectual pedestal.
Yeah.
Like right away. You get to like, so if I started believing it tomorrow, the first thing I would think is like, I'm smarter than 95% of the people in the world, because they all still believe the fucking, can you believe these sheep?
These fucking sheeple.
They still believe this shit.
Did Daryl Mack make up sheeple? Is that because that's his
Daryl
joke, right?
Mack make
Isn't
up
that his joke? He called everyone sheeple.
I think he did. Yeah. Well, he wouldn't have made it up.
Okay.
There would have been around.
Somebody would have written it.
It would have been around for a long time in the conspiracy world.
Yeah.
Of like,
sheeple.
You're just following along like a bunch of sheep. How about sheeple? Yes.
That's so smart.
So he's one. I mean, there's a ton of them.
Conspiracy theorist.
He's big time. He's big time into it.
I think it's just people that can't accept like reality too, like. Because they're saying like, okay, no, there's no way anybody landed on the moon. They filmed it in a fucking studio. I cannot accept blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just people that just can't accept like the real world.
Well, there are some like in the moon landing. I saw this documentary where they talked about like, you know, the astronauts wanted to be in control.
Yeah.
Like, we want to think of astronauts as like space pilots. That they're up there and they're in fucking control. And here we go, everybody. Get on the wheel, Jimmy. We did it. The astronauts got to the moon. But the reality is, like, it's all on a program.
Yeah.
Like, it's all software.
Yeah,
like, there's scientists.
Even back then?
And like, even the first moon landing.
Yeah.
The astronauts themselves, they're like, you can't just hit the moon and get into the orbit of the moon and then go kill it and then
you can't
pull a lever like stop. It's gonna throw us into Mercury.
Your acting is really good.
It's really good acting. You can't just like hit a brake, you know, hit the e-brake in your fucking shuttle and get around the moon properly. Like that was all preordained.
Yeah. On
the ground. In this software. So the astronauts really weren't doing anything.
Maybe the astronauts are actually actors, though.
Maybe. Then why didn't they hire better looking ones?
Yeah, you know, make it more realistic.
Buzz Aldrin was a bit of a buzzkill sexually.
Buzz would be a good name if you were good at sex.
If you could fuck.
If you could fuck.
Buzz is a terrible name if you don't have a penis. Hey, here's my eunuch friend named Buzz. Like, what a waste of a name. No, so they're like, what do you think these astronauts just fucking less technology than is in your fucking Game Boy? But I don't know. I mean, the problem is like, I think we've talked about this in a previous podcast where you'd have to deny the whole program. Yeah. You'd have to deny the entire Apollo program because that wasn't the only time they went to the moon.
Yeah.
They went to the moon other times. So
Yeah.
you don't believe in any of it?
Do you think there's still people on the moon?
I don't think so today.
No?
Like maybe they're just making some condos.
Maybe they're making moon
Getting the
condos,
moon-
getting us ready to move up there.
See, when people talk about Edmonton weather, I kind of see there's a good side of it too, like Canadian weather,
Yeah.
because it does keep people away.
Yes.
You know, like this is one of the best countries in the world, and there's only 35 million people here. There's
Because
like
we're cold.
because it's freezing.
Yeah.
So most people would love to move here and move their lives here. Like
Yeah.
there's beautiful scenery, beautiful country, nice people, a decent economy, but they don't come here because of the weather. Like
Yeah.
we think if this was nice weather, if Canada was like Mexico hot, like we would have 3 billion people here.
Yeah.
3 billion people would live in Canada.
Absolutely.
They'd be on the side of the fucking Rocky Mountains.
Canada might be the only one left after everything melts because we're not quite like at least BC will be gone
Yeah.
and those will be gone, but we'll
And build
on the
that
coast.
fucking wall.
build that wall, keep those Americans out.
Yeah, it's too hot down here.
Too bad.
Fuck you. Kicking ladders.
Too bad.
I would just be at the border knocking ladders
That's
with a
happening
broomstick.
now in Arizona. Like
Knock a
guys,
family off of a ladder. Like, get back in there. I'm
Sean
from
would be the
Minnesota.
first- Sean would be the first to volunteer to work the wall.
Yeah. It pays. Like, you don't put my check in the garbage. I'm doing this for free.
For
Knocking
my country.
for Canada.
For Canada. No, that is true. Like that is very
Keeping these
true.
climate refugees from America out
always-
of my country.
I always hate when we get either too hot weather or too cold weather because you're always going to get people online complaining about the weather. And then the people that are worse, you're going to get the people that complain about the people complaining about the weather.
Right.
Those people can fuck
What about the
off.
people who complain about the people who are complaining about the weather like us? Yes! We did it!
We gave
We came full circle on that. But because that's
Oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
I always like it when people are like, I don't mind the cold. You can dress for it. And it's like, you can dress for space.
Yeah,
like,
you can dress
if
for
your
anything.
suit rips, you're
Yeah.
dead. You know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You can dress for it. Like, yeah, you can dress for anything. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful weather.
My dogs are losing their fucking minds because they literally go outside just a few times a day to pee, and I can walk them to the corner, and then Eugene's like, ah! Like, he screams like a little girl. Yeah!
It's so cold.
It's so cold, and they're losing their minds. And
Well,
they're
and their
like,
penis is closer to the ground.
Yeah.
So it starts freezing and then
And then if you
freezes
got one of
right
those-
into their doggy urethra.
Yeah, don't lick a pole or put your penis close to the snow. Those are two things you shouldn't do.
Don't lick
In
the,
the
bowl.
wind.
Oh, yeah.
Lick a pole.
Oh, yeah.
Like get your tongue
Do
stuck.
some strippers do that?
I have seen that. It's pretty disgusting.
I would
right?
do that. I would
You
go out
would
there and it
lick
would be
a
like,
bowl?
if I was a stripper, my theme would be Christmas. And the pole would have like white, like it's frozen. And
Yeah.
then I would come out in like a parka. And then I would go, he.
Yeah.
And then I would lick the pole.
Yeah.
And my tongue would get stuck to it.
And
But
then-
I would pretend that
and
my
then you
tongue
would
was stuck to
continue to
it.
strip
And then I
with
would
your
take and
tongue.
then I would take my pants off. With my tongue stuck to the fake frozen stripper pole.
I always wanted to start like a business of male strippers called like just regular guys or something because I like
Just regular
Yeah,
guys.
because listen, I've been to the strippers and it is awful. It is not entertaining. The men are horrifying looking. They're greasy and sinewy but like I was at a friend's house where it was just like this like dude that looked like kind of Seth Rogen like showed up as a cop and then stripped, and it was the most fucking fun.
Well, that's male burlesque.
Yeah, boylesque it's called.
Is it?
Yeah, it's called
Oh,
boylesque
okay, I
because
didn't know
it
that
exists.
existed.
It exists.
Because that is boylesque.
Yeah, because women
right?
let guys do stuff when they want to do it.
Yes.
No women in burlesque were like, well, no, this is a girl's thing, and then said no to the boys. The boys were just like, excuse us, we're coming through and we're bringing our dicks.
Boom. Dicks out.
But no, what were we talking?
Because there has to be strippers with small penises that are like, I don't do the full thing. You know that, right?
They never do the full thing.
No?
The full Monty.
You're not allowed to do full Monty?
I never have been to the strippers where it's full Monty. I've only ever been where they just strip down to like a Borat bikini and It's boring.
That's stupid.
And it's ridiculous watching like these big beefy guys try to dance. Like they're not dancers at all. And
No, so your dick isn't out. Imagine having a huge dick, and then
Yeah.
you're like, I wish I could just
I
get
would
my dick out of these bands.
I would much rather watch like some like overweight stoner dude strip for me and laugh my fucking ass off than like be just kind of horrified by watching a male stripper. I don't understand why women have to even pretend that we like it.
Well, you know it's bad because they do it in groups.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like women can get out there solo.
Yeah.
And boom, look at these two titties.
Yeah,
and you're
we
like,
need
I'm
more.
sold, Catherine.
Yeah.
But when it's male strippers, if it was just a guy,
Yeah.
you'd be like, seriously?
Yeah.
That's why it's always like 6 of them, right? Or something, or 4.
Well, but no, like they each come on their own.
Oh, they do?
They're little
I thought they did a
troops.
show like together.
I'm sure I've literally been to the strippers twice. Once at Cowboys in the West End, and once at this place that was called the Docks. I think you even might have been there. It's next to Yuck Yucks in Londonderry.
I remember that.
And Andrew Iwanek said, Kathleen, we always do stuff for the boys. We always go watch football games, and you just come along and you don't say anything. So we're going to go to the strippers with you. And he forced everybody, including me, to go to the male strippers at the Docks, which was just this like awful bar. And
Yeah, it was it was near an exit in Londonderry.
yeah, it was
Londonderry
below
Mall.
the Alberts.
It's not
in
still there,
London.
is it?
No, I think they renovated that mall and made it nicer, but
That put a couple huge holes in that mall, didn't it? Like Yuck Yucks was huge. Like
Yeah.
it might have been
was
the
big.
biggest Yuck Yucks.
Yeah,
it
was
might have been the
huge.
biggest comedy club in the history of stand-up. Like
was
it was a
giant.
fucking giant warehouse.
Yeah.
It was huge.
they were really big.
Like a giant lobby. It was like a Walmart. It was like a half a Walmart.
That's why that one was fun to hang out with. We would just hang out in the lobby and
Yeah, the
be
lobby was
idiots.
huge, and there was a bar out there,
And no
so you
one
could
would be
just
talking
and
in
nobody
the
would.
room.
Nobody from the showroom would come out and be like, "Shut up, we can fucking hear you
Yeah.
in there." Like it was so huge that like you could be screaming out in
And
the lobby.
when I started comedy, you could still smoke in the clubs. So you
Right.
would be doing a set and literally your head would be in a cloud of smoke because you would be so up. Because it was way up higher than the tables.
Yeah.
Like you were above the heads of the audience. It was weird.
It was kind of a nice room though,
It was a nice room. That's the first place I ever did comedy.
and you could do guest spots and like get an idea of whether material was good or not.
Yeah.
Like you could. That was back when you could like show up, do it. Like now, I think if you go to the comic strip or Yucks to do a guest spot, like the guest spot is really a dead zone. It feels like.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like it feels dead.
Yeah, and you can't work on stuff because you have to look good.
Yeah, and it just feels like the audience is like, meh.
Yeah.
It's just who's this clown?
Who's this?
Oh, we got a guy
clown?
who just popped by to do a little time, and like, imagine how that reads to an audience.
Yeah.
where like we think of it as a guest spot, but an audience member is like some guy just popped in
Weaseled
to do a
himself
little
onto the
time,
show.
like. Because like our headliner tonight is blah blah blah, and our feature act.
I
is-
love when comics make it sound like the guest spot is some special person. And
Yeah,
then
like
it's
we got a special because they always say special
Yeah,
guest.
we got a
Like we
special
have a
guest.
special guest that just popped by to do a
and
little
then you
time.
come out there like, who's this?
Who pops by to do a little time? Is this guy a freak?
Remember when Dane Cook popped by the Vancouver Yuck Yucks?
That's right. I remember that.
And he went on to do a guest spot, or did he go on after? Oh, he went on after.
Yeah.
I think Peter Kalamis was on stage, and they were like, "You have to get off because Dane Cook is here." I think he'd done 20
I
minutes,
think
and then
wasn't it that he went and said he was going to kind of middle, and then just wouldn't get off.
Yeah, he wouldn't
and then
get off.
And then they cut his mic.
oh yeah, and Dane Cook was furious that
Yeah,
they cut
which
his
of,
mic.
of course, like
Yeah.
you're an egomaniac first
Yeah.
of all,
Yeah.
and you're a millionaire. You probably think like. This is like if you're Dane Cook, you're walking down those stairs into that club.
And this was
thinking,
height of Dane Cook actual success.
Yeah, this is when Dane Cook was the biggest comedian in the world.
Yeah.
So it was, and I remember like he must have been walking down to the club thinking in his mind like, this is the best night that this
Ever
club
gonna
is
have.
ever going to
Yeah.
have. Like this is the biggest thing that's ever going to happen at this club.
Yeah.
And because it was a Yuck Yucks, they were like, "Hi,
Who are you?
what?
We don't know who you are. What are you talking about?
Like, who?" Like, I mean, of course they knew who he was. Like
Oh,
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, it's Dane Cook," and
But they did put him on.
they threw him on.
Yeah.
But they still, like, only a Yuck Yucks would be like, no, we have a show structure.
Yeah.
this is how the show
You're doing
is
7
going.
minutes.
If you would like to be added to the show, we can accommodate that
Yeah.
biggest star on the planet.
Yeah.
But you're not the, like we're still going to have our show.
Yeah.
And then, he went on and just obviously was like, fuck, who cares?
And
Like,
people are excited to see a celebrity.
yeah, they would have been jacked to see
Yeah.
him. And I think he did, he was supposed to do 15 or
He did, like,
something.
an hour.
And he just kept going.
Yeah.
And then I think he got to like 45 and they cut his mic.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's why Peter didn't even go up yet. They just asked him if it'd be
No.
okay, and Peter's like, yeah, sure. And
Yeah.
then he just didn't even get to go up that night.
And there was a lot of people that it was kind of both sides where most people were like, I mean, he's the most famous comedian in the world. Of course it's his show
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
Like the only way that it would be a problem is if you were like, oh, sorry, we got to bump you for Dane and you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Like as long as you're getting paid, then
yeah.
get out of the way. Like,
Yeah.
there's never going to be a night like that at
It's
that
true.
club again. So you might as well do it. I think the same thing happened in Calgary, didn't it?
Oh, it happened at Comedy Monday night.
Yeah, there was
Because they had because they filmed Fargo in Calgary, so they had Key and Peele there all the time. They had Bob Odenkirk all the time.
Mm-hmm. Zach Galifianakis.
Zach Galifianakis showed up and
Hannibal Buress.
oh yeah,
yeah.
this
So
is
there-
the greatest. I love this legendary Canadian comedy story. You can go ahead and tell it, and
Well,
please use names.
I
We're
don't-
using names. Fuck it.
Yeah,
It's
well,
so
there
funny.
was what's his Ron Vaudry, Canadian comedy icon.
Yeah.
He's headlining Comedy Monday night, and here's like how it would break down is so Hannibal Buress shows up,
Yeah.
but Ron Vaudry is a Canadian comedian who's been in the UK for a long time,
And also doesn't pay attention to comedy. Like most
Right.
comedians don't really.
and also he
But
would have
you
been
would
he
know.
would have been thinking in his mind like this is a pretty big night for Comedy Monday night.
Yeah.
Like a big Canadian comedian coming back from the UK where he's killing it.
Yeah.
And then I think they kind of gave him like a glass.
Yeah, that's what
He was
that's
already
what,
on stage and they
That's
gave
what
him like
James does. Like when you headline Comedy Monday night, he says 5 minutes. If instead of a light, he's like, "I'll come up and bring you a drink 5 minutes before or something. You're supposed to be done, and then that's your light."
yeah, so I think he got him a drink early
Yeah.
and was like, just do another 5 minutes, kind of like Hannibal Buress is here. Like wrap it up and we're going to bring Hannibal
Yeah.
Buress on. But Ron didn't know who Hannibal Buress was. So he just thought that somebody...
Which is odd. Hannibal Buress is a pretty big name, especially in comedy, because he's also the guy that outed Cosby. Like he's known for
He's the guy that ruined Cosby's career for
so
no
much-
reason.
no reason at all. What an asshole!
Bill's behind bars because of that jerk.
That fucking loser.
Now that I think about it, I like Ron Vaudry more. Bringing down Hannibal Buress.
he was so pissed.
So yeah, I think Hannibal went on, and Ron was upset.
Yeah.
And thought he should have been.
and then went to the internet.
Went to the internet with
And
it. Took it to the
posted-
old internet.
Then they
and-
put some kid named Hannibal on.
Yeah, some guy named Hamster Wheel.
Yeah, and,
Some fucking black amateur from Calgary.
yeah, and then
People were like, "It's Hannibal Buress."
Ron, we should
And,
take this down.
that's the point at which you would normally just kind of like lay down your weapons
and be like, "Oops, I'm an idiot."
and be like, "Shit, sorry.
Yeah.
Like I've been in England a long time. I didn't know who the fuck
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Whatever."
Not wrong.
Because it is legitimate to be like,
Yeah, not know who he
it
is.
is legitimate to be like, why am I being bumped for an amateur comedian,
Yeah.
a local amateur comedian? Like
Yeah.
if that's what you thought happened, then that's a legitimate concern to
Yeah.
have. But as soon as you find out that person isn't an amateur locally,
Yeah.
it's a major international famous headliner that
Yeah.
everybody in this audience knows. That's when you'd be like, oh shit,
I'm an idiot.
whoops.
People don't admit when they're wrong ever.
No.
A lot of people don't.
But I think that he pushed it and he was just he
pushed it
kept
too
pushing
far.
it and
Yeah.
was like, no, it's still bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it isn't still bullshit.
It's not bullshit at all.
It was bullshit.
Yeah.
And now it isn't.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I don't even know if it was ever bullshit though. Like as a person, as a comedian, you have to get like if a small room like that has Hannibal Buress walk in, he's not going to be like, "Sorry, Ron Vaudry's already up closing the show. We're not going to put you on." Like, come on.
No, yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy that you would be so angry. But there is like, yeah.
I mean, you can hate somebody,
Yeah.
but it's just the rules of show business.
Yeah, it's
somebody-
the rules of show business. That's
Somebody
right.
more famous than you walks in the room, you're
You
off
lose
the
your
show.
spot. Yeah.
That's life.
That would happen in Edmonton when like a person who was a little bit better than you would show up. Like they would say, "Kathleen, you can do the guest spot," and then somebody a little bit better would show up, and they're like, "Fuck you, Kathleen." It happens.
Yeah.
It happens even when the person's not famous. But they're just,
that's not fair. And it's like, yeah, but this isn't fair.
that's
None
like
of
watching
it's fair.
The Bachelor. I've been watching The Bachelor because it started again. And
Okay.
all these girls are like, that's not fair. It's not fair she stole him. It's not fair. Yeah, you're on a show called The fucking Bachelor. It's not going to be fair. They're not. And anyway, I get pissed off those.
Are they all white?
No, there's a lot of diversity. There's there's a couple Asian girls, a couple black girls.
And is
Mostly
the
white, though.
Bachelor
Mostly-
white?
Yes, and a lot.
Has
of
there
people
ever
were
been a
pissed
white
off.
man who's picked a black or Asian woman or Latino?
There was Rachel, the Bachelorette, was a African American woman, and I think she picked a white guy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, but I don't know. But no, they've never had a black Bachelor, which people thought
That's
they were.
kinda weird.
I totally just went. I do that all the time. I go to different subjects real fast, but but there was a Bachelor that was a big, handsome black man, and everyone was like, he should be the next Bachelor. Why don't you make him the next Bachelor? And then they did it, and then people were like, this show is fucking awful. But it literally is like a white people show. Like I'm not like saying like that to be, but it is like it was made for silly white people to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
They would be looking at like who watches our show.
Yeah.
It's non-college educated white people in middle America.
Yeah. And like
And-
white girls who want a fantasy dream love. Like
So there's still going to be tons of women that'll be like, let's watch The Bachelor.
Yeah.
And then husbands that are like, fuck that
yeah.
black bachelor.
That's the
We're
thing,
not
though.
ready for a black bachelor.
This
This is Obama all over again.
It is crazy that they didn't make him, that they haven't had a black bachelor. That's pretty crazy.
The show should be called Black Bachelor.
They should make one. They should make one. I saw somebody online say something. Well, they did have Flavor of Love. But
That's what a white person says. Well, they did have that one thing a while ago that
It was
wasn't
theirs
really the
for-
same.
yeah. Did you watch? Did I just scare you? I feel like I just.
I thought you were dancing sensually. So it freaked me out.
Did you watch Dave Chappelle get the Mark Twain Award?
I saw him get it, but I didn't listen to
didn't
the
watch
speech.
the
Was it a
whole
good
thing?
speech?
Well, the speech was good, but it was just like really good to watch, like because they go through his career and everything, and it's just like you do watch him. Like this guy is one of the fucking best ever, and he's so good
Yeah.
at just talking about whatever. And I think he's got to be my favorite comic right now because he's the one that's just like, you people need to laugh more. And then he starts talking about stuff that no one wants to talk about, but he always does. It was good.
Did he
It was
bring
really
up
good.
trans again?
Yeah.
He did.
Well, not
He
on the
just
show.
can't.
They showed
Oh, really?
the clip where he says like, I've got L friends, I've got B friends, I've got G, and but the T's hate me. The T's hate me. Like they showed that joke, which they do, and he says, I understand why. I understand why you guys hate me because I keep writing jokes about you, but I can't stop writing these jokes. And he goes, I get it. You guys hate me because of that, but it's like. I don't know. He's just like, that is one of the best comics of all time. And it was awesome watching him get like this Mark Twain Award, which is like reserved for,
Who's gotten it? It's like Steve Martin. I
Yeah.
think Cosby's probably got one.
Probably.
Did they take it away?
Hopefully.
They just ripped the Mark Twain prize out of
Hopefully they
Cosby's.
ripped it out of
You
his
can't
hand.
take that away from me.
Hopefully they ripped it out of
Especially
his
since
hand.
he was like, especially when you look back at Cosby, because like he was a charming actor.
Yeah.
But he was an actor.
Yeah.
Right? Like he didn't write his material in stand-up. He had a writer. Somebody wrote all that. And then when he was on the Cosby Show, he didn't write the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
It was written for him. So when you look back at
He
Cosby's
didn't do any
legacy,
writing for the Cosby Show
he wasn't a writer.
at all.
I'm sure that he like riffed some of that.
Yeah.
And improvised some. I'm not saying he's talentless.
No, I know, but that's also like,
But when you look at the rape stuff,
Yeah.
and then you look at the fact that most of the things that came out of his mouth were written by another person,
Yeah.
it kind of does add up a little bit more. Like those weren't, like he didn't write those jokes.
yeah.
So
That's
you're like, oh, he was, but I mean, the stick hitting. My dad made me get I always tried to find the littlest stick to get switched with. Like
Is this a Bill Cosby joke?
yeah. And people would listen to jokes that were that relatable and
Yeah.
be like, Cosby, how could he do that? Like, there's no way he's that rapist. That stick joke. And it's like, yeah, I mean, he memorized it.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote it for him and then he said it.
That's why, you could look. There's no way Dave Chappelle has memorized all this shit. He He was known for doing hours and hours
Oh,
long
yeah.
sets. Like, this guy's just like, there are just people that are joke machines. They're just literal joke machines.
You'd have to be also an egomaniac, right? You'd have to be the kind of person that, there's 60 people in a room and you're like, I'm going to stand here for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And just talk. I'm
Yeah.
going to smoke some cigarettes. Like, can you imagine, like, just smoke a cigarette? Like, he probably wouldn't talk for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There's just people sitting there and he's just like, I'm just going to have a fucking smoke. And that's it.
Yeah.
And everybody's just going to sit there. And he's like, yeah, I'm in charge. Like, of course you're going to sit there.
This is a story. I don't know if this is like a old wives' tale or something, but there's a story about like Dane Cook and Dave Chappelle that I've heard where Dane Cook was like headlining the Comedy Factory, and then Dane Cook showed up to do a spot, and then someone said, okay, but only do 5. So then he went on and on and on and on. Oh no, sorry, I fucked this up. So Dane Cook was headlining. Chappelle showed up. They told him to do 5. Like Dane says,
5.
That's what Dane Cook said to him. He's like, you can do 5. And so he's like, okay. He goes up and he does a lot more than 5. And then after he's done, he goes, I'm going to be in the parking lot for the next 45 minutes, signing autographs, taking pictures, and blah, blah, blah. And so then everybody got up and left.
Oh, my God.
Which is, I don't know if that's a real story, but that's a good petty story.
That is.
I want it to be real.
I mean, if you hate a guy,
yeah,
that's a great thing
he
to do.
Cleared the friggin' room. Everyone's like, well, I'm going to go get an autograph from Dave Chappelle.
Hey, guys, you guys want to go for a drink over at the thing? And
that's basically, I guess, what he did.
That is amazing.
I hope that's real. I hope that's a real story.
That's such a great story because it's like people came to see Dane Cook.
Yeah.
They were already Dane Cook fans.
Yeah.
And Dave Chappelle gets to walk in and be like, you still like me more, motherfucker.
Yeah.
The person you didn't know was going to be here.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I want that story to be real for sure. I do.
How much?
You always get expensive ones.
Well, it's because then you can get the most.
Okay.
How long have you been talking?
I don't know. How long have we been talking? 55.
Oh, fuck. That's way too long.
We've got lots of time.
Jesus Christ.
We got to scratch this baby.
That's hilarious that we're talking about Dave Chappelle sits there and talks and thinks people should listen 55 minutes into our podcast where we talk.
I didn't say that. You said that. I think
well, I can't believe you. I can't believe you said that. Wait a minute. 35.
35, 40, 35.
That's not a match.
Oh, this is the one that you riffed on earlier where you made that funny joke about close enough.
Close enough.
40, 40.
Oh.
Yeah! We won $40!
And it's not over yet, folks.
It's not over yet.
We just started.
We just started. 200,000.
Yeah, you usually hit on both of them. Can you imagine, like, you win 40 and lose your shit, and then you scratch the next one and you win 200,000?
You can probably win more than once on these things.
You can, yeah. I had one where I won multiple, but it's usually like a 40, and then you might win a 20.
What's the most that you've won on one of these things?
I think 100.
I don't know if I've even won. I think I've won 100 once. My uncle, he for his birthday, everybody. I think it was like his 90th birthday or 80-something's birthday, and so everyone
One
bought
of those
him.
old ones.
He was a scratchy ticket guy, so everybody bought him a scratchy ticket, and he ended up having like 1,500 scratchy tickets, and he ended up winning like $2,500.
Really? That's okay.
Yeah, like it worked.
Yeah,
out.
no. When you see like real scratch addicts,
Yeah,
they'll buy a book. Like you can win.
yeah, because the odds are better because it's the same.
So
game.
they'll just buy a fucking book of it.
Yeah. That's why I do when I play those like little pulley tabby things in BC. I always take them out of the same. You don't spread it out. You take.
Don't
them out
spread
of the
it out,
same
man.
Pile. Same pile.
You're one of those chicks that like tips her seat at the VLTs.
Is that to save it?
Yeah, back in 5.
I don't play VLTs often because I get too like it's too easy to lose a ton of money on those things.
Yeah.
I don't think we've won out yet.
Oh my God. So we need 19, 26, 5, 29, 12, or 48.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
This is hard.
It's hard on the fingers, isn't it?
It is hard on the fingers. And these aren't even my real nails.
36. Oh my God. They give you the close ones. That's what they like to do.
They like to tease you.
They like to. Oh my God. I was one number away from 1 million.
Yeah. These little teases. One time my mom and I played this crossword one, and we thought if you got one word, you would win. So we won. I thought we won like $10,000. And you had to have like 4 letters or 4 words to win. This has become really fun at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, we just sit here.
I think we're all just cold. It's been cold. How do you?
$40. That's what we got.
I think we got $40, but I can use my handy verifier.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
It's the best thing ever.
That's what marijuana does to my brain, is it makes me forget little things.
Do you ever remember a joke that you've been trying to remember forever because you don't write them down? Or do you write your jokes down?
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I remember half of that joke.
Yeah.
But what's the other half of that joke?
Yeah. I got to go back and listen to some of my million recordings that I never listened to. I have like a billion recordings that I don't think I've ever listened to any
I've got
of them.
like so many little notes that'll like my kids are going to throw out the day after I die.
That's hilarious.
Got
They're like,
5 bags full of little notes.
It's
and
Dad's old set list.
No, Dad, you're dead. And then the first thing they do is light that on fire.
Oh my God, I love it.
Like Crystal knocked.
$40. We won $40 fucking
Boom,
dollars.
boom, 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 boom.
This is a good day. So
This is a real good day.
We've almost won 45. I think in total.
Well. This podcast is starting to pay off.
It's really
We don't even need a sponsor.
No, our sponsor
need
is
to
the
keep-
Alberta Lottery Ticket.
Thank you, Alberta Lottery Tickets.
For finally giving
Foundation.
us a win.
Well, thanks for being on the podcast again, Kathleen.
Thanks for being my coast again. I think I called him a coast.
Yeah, you did call me a coast. It's okay. It's a halfway between a ghost and a coaster. So I'll take that. You can't drink out of me.
I'm going to post that video of the guy eating the broccoli on our Instagram
That
at
one is pretty
Baby
fucked
Bear.
up. Because he's not trying to impress anybody. He's just eating
And
broccoli.
he's a kind of scary looking man.
Yeah. I mean, that's your typical dog owner.
Yeah.
Ugh, crazy dog man. How come there nobody? Because that's a crazy dog man is who that is.
That is.
You only need one of them to be that crazy. Like women have to accumulate a bunch of cats to be considered crazy, but guys can have one dog and be real fucked up.
That's awesome. I think we should have crazy dog lady.
There are
man.
definitely crazy dog men out there.
Yeah.
They got one dog and they're like, "That's my dog."
Yeah.
When he dies, when he goes, I go. I love him too much to say goodbye. Like fucking relax, Tito. It's a fucking big cat you got there. He's so loyal. He would lick Hitler, you fucking meathead.
Dogs would, yeah.
Sure they would.
Dogs would love
Hitler would be
Hitler.
like, come on over here. And the dog would be, like if that was the first person that took him in, he'd fucking lick Hitler's face every
Maybe
night.
we don't deserve dogs.
We don't deserve them.
Maybe dogs don't deserve us, though.
We're too good for dogs.
Ungrateful little jerks.
Oh, sorry, Eugene.
Sorry, Gino.
Sorry, he doesn't listen to the podcast, does
No,
he? Friend
no.
of the pod.
He's like, Mom, you're embarrassing me.
Talking about me on the radio.
You're so embarrassing.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
Have a great week.